Hello everyone, to all the Biconomy developers, Biconauts and whoever is watching this video. Welcome to this video, and today we are going to learn about smart accounts on the context of ERC4337. What are Biconomy smart accounts? How can you use them? Important methods in the Biconomy SDK and a lot other things. But before that, let me introduce myself. I am B Venkatesh, the integrations engineer at Biconomy. And today we are going to learn about smart accounts. So let's get started. Smart account is not an EOA address. It doesn't look like an address. It is basically a smart contract account. That's why it is called as a smart account, and it is used to manage assets and create user operations, normally said as user ops, right? These are pseudo transaction objects that eventually execute as transaction on the EVM. They replace traditional externally owned accounts. Okay, so basically smart accounts improve the user experience, and for web 2 users it's a very good thing because they can transition into web 3 without knowing about what are metamask and all, right? They just have to have their social and they can socially log in and create a smart account for themselves. The Biconomy smart account is ERC4337 compliant solution. It works with any paymaster and bundler service. Signer agnostic. What is a signer agnostic? Okay, so signer agnostic basically means that you can start with any authorization package and create a signer and just pass that signer into the create smart account client method in the SDK, and you can generate a smart account for any signer, right? It's that easy, and it can be powered by validation modules, so with custom logic before validating a user up, right? So you can power your smart accounts with modules, and we have different authorization modules, right? You can check it out in our docs. Now, how are they created? Now, smart accounts are created deterministically using the create to opcode, meaning the smart account address can be identified even before it is deployed. It will also maintain the same address across different chains, right? So the deployment of a smart account is bundled with the first user operation on any chain, or you can deploy it, but it doesn't get deployed as soon as it is created. Okay, and you can see the image here, how you can create a smart account for yourself. All you need is to pass the signer, a bundler URL, and Biconomy paymaster API key. Primarily all the three things are required, right? And it's not necessary to provide all of them, but yeah, you definitely have to pass the signer, and this is how you get the account address of the Biconomy smart account, and you're good to go and do the transactions with the Biconomy smart account. Alright, now let us learn the important methods in Biconomy smart accounts. So we have get account address to get the counterfactual address of the smart account, right? Deploy, to deploy the smart account if you want to deploy before the first user up. Okay, so if you don't want to wait for the user to do the first transaction, you can basically deploy the smart account, right? And get balances is to fetch the token balances of the smart account. Get gas estimates. Now you have to get gas estimates in way for a given transaction, so you will have to call this method. And withdraw is to send funds to an EOA, which is basically primarily the EOA that you use to deploy, create the smart account with, or you can also send it to a recipient address, right? And send transaction is to send a transaction to a bundler for execution. It internally executes a build and a send user op. Okay, now build user op is to configure and set up properties of the partial user op object that you have, and send signed user op to dispatch signed user operations to the bundler, right? So you can check all these methods in the docs. Go ahead and check the docs, they are really good. Tips and good to know points. Okay, so smart accounts should have native tokens to pay for the gas fees if the transaction is not sponsored. Okay, the gas fees are not paid by the owner of the smart account, which is the EOA. So basically what it means is that the smart accounts, if they don't like the transactions are not sponsored, so they do have to pay the gas fees for it. Okay, and you cannot depend on the EOA funds. Basically the smart account should be having funds to pay for the gas fees. Okay, and a single EOA or assigner can generate multiple smart accounts. Okay, and this can be done in the Biconomy smart accounts by increasing the index in the create smart account client, as you can see in the previous slide. And Biconomy smart accounts are not deployed as soon as they are created. They need to be deployed, or the deployment is bundled with the very first user up. Okay, so that's simple. I already told you, right? It doesn't get deployed as soon as it's created, but yeah, you can deploy it, or it gets bundled with the first user operation. So yeah, that's it for the video, and Sooner we are going to have a lot of videos and tutorials about paymasters and bundlers and how you're going to send a gasless transaction, how you can pay the gas fees using ERC20 tokens. A lot of them videos are coming soon, so tune us in, and yeah, see ya in the next video. Thank you for signing in, and goodbye.